Hi ninjas, how are you guys doing? It's your girl, Chille, aka Miss Fearful, bring back for all entertainment. If it's the first time joining me, most definitely welcome. Please do make sure that I subscribe and obviously hit the bell. I absolutely love you, and do not forget to follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. It's at boldly Owamie. Now my ninjas, you know when you film a video and then things go wrong and you have to refilm a video, this is it, okay? So I'm gonna honestly like do my best because the first one was such a banger, but you know, like I am Owamie mother freaking award-winning content creator. I can do this. Okay, so we're gonna talk about babes Wodumo. Okay, now of course you guys know that Mampintsha's mom got laid to rest on Saturday. Now of course the girl was there, redhead, dancing like nobody's business, and you know, just having the time of her life. In my opinion, like that's what it looked like. Okay, but there's more that girl actually did, and so I'm gonna go and read what they quoted from her. I was kind of busy. I was actually busy Saturday, so I didn't watch the funeral, unfortunately, but you know, they did quote to say this is what she said, you know, at the speech, and this is what they're saying. She said, today I want to assure you that you will never go hungry when I'm still around. I will be your pillar of strength. You have a sister in me. If you need anything, please call me, and if you cannot get hold of me, do not hesitate to come to my house in Westville. I am prepared to pay for a meter taxi. And then of course they're saying that she also said, I didn't do this for to show off, but wanted to make sure that my mother-in-law gets a dignified funeral. We had our differences, but in the end we always made peace. We understood each other. I loved her, and I'm glad we made peace. Okay, now of course this comes after they are alleging that she paid for the whole funeral. She paid, and I think that maybe before we get to the part where she was talking about how, you know, pillar of strength in Bokoto, I'm gonna start off by talking about like her paying for the funeral. I think that you guys remember when I was coming out here and I started talking, I was like, guys, I see trouble. I see trouble. There were allegations that she was not allowed to go into the funeral or to come to the funeral. Why do I think maybe she could have been allowed? Because she was paying. Because she was paying. I mean, we all could see just a glimpse of who Mampintsha's mother was. We have seen a glimpse of what the people, the alleged Mampintsha's family, are they not the same people that were out there outside the funeral parlor toying, asking like, what have you done with the body? Hey, blah 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 blah, what have you done with him? As if human flesh South Africa, as if they were gonna eat his corpse, like the hell. And so for me, honestly, like when the sister, you know, Mampintsha's sister was talking about how her mother passed, and in the same breath, same freaking article, she then started talking about policies. I just knew. I honestly knew that but anyway, for her to go out and pay for the funeral, I feel like that was a kind gesture. I do not know if the policies that the sister was talking about, maybe that were from Mampintsha, actually paid. I think that if there's policies that you are paying yourself and then you die, I don't think it continues. I think they die with you, if I'm not mistaken. Is it not? If the head dies, I think you die with them. I don't know, unless if maybe there's new strategies, or I'm just thinking because I'm from the village. So there's societies and stuff, unless someone is gonna carry through with that. So yeah, you know, I don't know, but we all do know that, you know, the government did help in burying Mampintsha, so maybe they did get a lot more money, which I do assume that they did, and so maybe she decided she was gonna take some of that money and bury the mother because they did not die too far apart, right? So that is the first thing that I'm gonna say. I do commend her for that. I do think that she did something that was great. So yeah, you know, obviously that is good. Now let's move ahead and talk about Imbokoto Yema Bokoto. God, you don't just made the worst mistake of your life, and that's in my personal opinion. How I know that Babes Wodumo is still young, Babes Wodumo is still very young, and I'm gonna go ahead and just tell you guys that there are two different things, and you need to be very careful of these things. There are two types of people when people get abused, okay, especially at a young age. If you have been abused from the ages, you know, you can still remember, you know, from the ages where you can still remember up until, you know, I don't know, about maybe 23, 24, that is when you can start, like, you know, standing up for yourself. There's one of two things that's gonna happen. It's either you're going to sink or you're going to swim. Now, we have swimmers. I'm one of the swimmers. I swim. I don't care what happens, I swim. And so, you know, what happens is that you fight, you become somebody that you are just like, listen, this is not gonna happen to me anymore. You accept, you fight, man. You know, you the way that you think, you kind of think even like above your age, you know, because you have gone through a lot, you understand. And then we've got sinkers. Sinkers, they become underdeveloped in terms of like that thinking. So this can be somebody that is 24 years old but still thinks like an 18-year-old, and that's one of those parts where some people actually don't understand, with like girls that then you know, they get married maybe at the age of 18, and then now she's like 28 and she's still being abused, and you're like, girl, like, why have you been staying? And then you look at it and you're like, oh no, you know, the thing is, this person is a sinker. She cannot swim. They are abusing her and doing all this because she sinks. She's sinking. You know, she does not think of, hey, let me go and fight for myself. She's underdeveloped. So she may be a 28-year-old, but she is still thinking like an 18-year-old or a 19-year-old. And that's the process that, you know, them white people be calling it grooming and whatever. So do you guys understand? So looking at Babes Wodumo has been highly abused by Mampintsha. Highly abused by Mampintsha, and he abused her at the right age. And when I'm saying the right age, I'm talking about the right age where someone is still very young, and this is the right age for abusers, but the wrong age obviously for the abused. You understand? Do you guys even remember that time? Was it Mampintsha, if I'm not too mistaken? Was she not the one that was asking questions about how Babes Wodumo was being beaten, and then people came out and they said, no, this hey, she's dead. It took a bit, just in a few years, for us to actually see that man clapperizing the shit out of Babes Wodumo. Okay, like the crap out of her, like straight up. It was absolutely crazy. And of course then that was when we were all just like, but then they ended up going back together. Showmax ended up endorsing their relationship in terms of like even giving them a show and everything. And so, like, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I feel like she's definitely underdeveloped is what I'm trying to say. You do not go and make promises when you're emotional. When you are emotional, stay away from making decisions. And this is something that happens a lot during funerals. I remember even with my mother, after she passed, there were many people that came and they said, hey, we're gonna help you. If you need anything, you should come to me. If you this and this, you should come to me. When I tell you guys that the day we buried our mother is the day we also buried their promises, we've never seen those people. And I think that maybe, first of all, I'm gonna go ahead and say that it's a horrible thing to do. Do not make promises to people when they're grieving and you are also still emotional, because you're gonna fail. It's gonna be impractical. You are not gonna be able to make it, and it's gonna even drive a bigger wedge and a rift between people. When Babes Wodumo is saying that I'm gonna be your pillar of strength, it means that she's telling these people to say, hey, if your child wants to go to school and she has got no money, come to me, I'll be your pillar of strength. If you do not have food, I don't care how many of you are there, I don't care what is going on there, come to me and I will be your pillar of strength. If one of your children falls pregnant and she don't even know who the baby daddy is, I'm your pillar of strength. I'm going to be there. It's gonna be impossible, especially because Mampintsha's family, it has got that Busaki vibes. Okay, as I said, in the same breath, same article, as she was actually talking about how her mother died, already she was talking about policies and how to bury the mother, which is money. They are definitely into money a lot, in my opinion, and they like dramatic people. So if Babes Wodumo is telling herself that she's going to take care of this, but then she's gonna have to take care of them. Why are you making promises that you cannot keep? And mind you guys, Wodumo is a mother, a single mother at that. So now she really honestly needs to keep it grinding like nobody's business, because she has a son to feed and it's only her now. Only her. If the allegations that she's into drugs are true, I do hope that this is the time she takes to actually go to rehab. Because from what I heard, them drugs ain't cheap. Artists fall in and out of style, out of fashion, and that's exactly how it is. We've got a lot of talented artists that have just grown out of fashion. We don't listen to them, we don't even talk about them anymore. Some are in some cringy episodes of where are they now, you know, and all this, and it's like, oh my god, I've even forgotten about this person. And Wodumo is not as hot as she used to be, and I'm talking about her music and like how she was coming into the scene, where even her song ended up in Black Panther and whatever. She's not that girl anymore. She's not as high as she used to be. And so her coming out and making these promises to the family is only going to bring fights, because they will now have a right to say, hey, but you said we should come. If you are going to pay for a meter taxi for someone, it means this person does not have money to come to your house. They don't have money definitely to go back to their house. So it means they would not even have money to eat in the house. So anytime they have to come to your place and you have to pay for that meter taxi, you better know that they're only coming here to fetch that money. You might as well, just as they're still in the Uber, hey, this is the Uber money for her coming, Uber money for her going back, and here's the money you need, go back. Because they're not interested in much. Now I do understand, maybe she is trying to keep the relationship alive so that, you know, her son, but I think that those that want to be in her son's life should be in her son's life without any incentives, without any money, without any, you know, you're never gonna hear this and this and this. I feel like emotions got the better of her, but that was a huge and bold statement to make, and I know which, but y'all will definitely see. I don't think 2 years will go before we hear something in the papers or someone is talking, hey, she was lying, hey, it was all for PR, hey, she's not helping anybody, hey, she's not, because no matter what you do for takers, it's never enough. You can give somebody 1 million rands, they will still say, hi bo, Mara, you know, Kabanga, and she only gave me 1 million, and Yena, she has got over 100 million. That's humans for you. Those are humans for you. And I think that I have just had to learn the hard way, and I'm just like, no. And so that's why I'm saying that Wodumo is still very young and she's still very child-minded. You do not make promises like that. You do not. But anyway, I think I've said a mouthful. To Lena that goes around to people's funerals and promising their kids, promising their families, hey, I will do everything for you guys. Stop that nonsense. If you're gonna do it, be quiet and do it. Just do it. You don't have to promise anybody anything. You know, they will see, wow, you really became our pillar of strength. But then in that way, if you also run into your own problems, then they don't expect anything. But when you go around giving promises, these people will expect, because you promised them, and it won't be nice when you're no longer delivering. You know, you now become a bad person when your intentions were good. But anyway, go ahead and comment below what you guys think. From Owamie, in my next upload. Bye, ninjas.